Hello, friends. The wheels of time are running very fast, signifying certain historic changes to be ushered in very soon. Almost in all sphere of our life, particularly in our national life, certain things are moving for some changes for the better. And one of them took place today, that is April 9, 2021, when the Varanasi courts paved the way for the survey of Gyan Bapi Masjid for the sake of being ascertained whether this disputed site is a Hindu temple or whether it is a mosque as it has been claimed and maintained so far. And the responsibility of surveying the place has been assigned to the Archaeological Survey of India, the agency which surveys the historical places, its antiquity and ethnic and cultural aspects. But this much is what is being shared wildly and being rejoiced by the Hindu society as one of the major victories over the injustices that had happened in the past. But this much is in the public domain or on the common platforms of television channels and news print media, where these things are commonly discussed with panelists voicing for and against this verdict. But friends, I am Shivcharan Singh and I would like to share something either more than this or something that has been missed by most of us. If you remember the time when we were fighting for Shri Ram Janmabhoomi, which is popularly known as Shri Ram Janmabhoomi Mukti Andolan, a major section of Hindu society had been apologetic, conscientious, and a little bit heckled, a little bit frightened, a little bit suspicious about the outcome of this movement, and that's why they used a very submissive, if not cowardice, language. And they, in speaking that language, they justified or accepted Islam as one of the religions, or at least one of something that could be accepted as part and parcel of the mainstream human society, which it is not, which it has never been, which it will never be. Saying what? They said, oh come on, Islam does not allow a disputed site of somebody else's religion to be used as a mosque, for if you offer namaz over there, that is not accepted. How cowardice or submissive or conscientious or apologetic this language is. Same language is being echoed this time around when the Varanasi courts has paved the way for the survey of Gyan Bapi Mosque in Varanasi, Kashi. Even when the facts are too well known, the most heinous and the most cruel face of Islam, one of the most abominable face in the Islam in the history of India, Aurangzeb ordered demolition of Kashi Vishwanath temple and construction of Gyan Vapi mosque over there in 1669, and thereafter the history is too well known. That's fine. Still we have to knock at the door of the courts to reclaim it, and even that reclaiming is not so easy, for there is a very strong legal barrier that is in the form of the Places of Worship Special Provisions Act 1991, which was brought in by the Congress regime for the sake of stopping all future movements for reclaiming Hindu places of worship which were broken, demolished, ruined, defiled by Muslim invaders and Muslim rulers of India in 1400 years of Islamic invasion in and around India. and they were almost successful. That is why time and again there has been voices against this Places of Worship Special Provisions Act 1991. So the apologetic section of the society is trying to beg out something out of these provisions from the act, that no, come on, if you have excluded Shri Ram Janmabhoomi from this act, also exclude Mathura and Kashi. And there are some sane voices from the Muslim society. Wasim Rizmi, the former chairman of the Shia Waqf Board, who is saying, no, not 3, as many as 11 places of worship which were demolished by the Muslim invaders in long history should also be returned to the Hindus and exempted from this act. Fine. Though I have nothing against such sane voices, but the thing is that I don't belong to the fold which talks in such apologetic and consciousnal fashion. I rather know it very well, though democracy has a way of functioning with courts and the legal procedure and processes, wherein everything which has been surveys, measured qualitatively, quantitatively, they will again ask the same agency to have a kind of fresh survey. Archaeological Survey of India has already done a long drawn survey of thousands of places of worship which belong to the Hindus, which were broken down, demolished, desecrated, and in their places mosques and madrasas were constructed, and the list is public. I have the book in which what has been corroborated by the Archaeological Survey of India is also not only corroborated but evidenced by Muslim chroniclers who accompanied those Muslim invaders who came to India and demolished our places of worship. Still, when the courts demand that we need to have a kind of fresh survey, all right, okay, it's the burden of democracy which we have to carry on. But the question is, why are we talking in such a submissive voice once again? Namaz is not accepted at a disputed site. And here the voices from the other side. Muslim debaters on the television panels. What do they say? They are very clear and with clean conscience say, once a masjid, always a masjid. Today itself, I saw one Muslim debater going against this court order of assigning survey to ASI, said Aurangzeb was his hero, and that once a masjid, always a masjid, neither Quran nor Hadith, and never Muhammad, the founder of Islam, said that namaz is not accepted when it is offered at a disputed site, and particularly when that disputed site is the place of worship of somebody else. No, it's not that. It's all fabrication of the submissive Hindus. No, let's not talk. Okay, you speak in legal language, that is all. No, the places of worships which were demolished long back, we want to reclaim, that much. Why are you justifying and accepting Islam as a religion? When you say, no, namaz is not accepted at a disputed site when it is offered at a place where mosque is built over somebody else's place of worship. That means you are giving a certificate to Islam. Let's stop doing so. For their language is different. They say once a mosque, always a mosque. So, dear friend, though we welcome the order given by Varanasi court for the surveying of the place, that is fine. Let it parallelly go on. But the thing is that we need to change the language. Let's not speak in the submissive voice of justifying Islam and accepting it as one of the religions. For it has never been a religion. Just like communism, left political party, it was a very heinous, dangerous, cruel political party which went far ahead of Marx, Lenin, Stalin, China, Ceausescu, and rest of the world wherever cruel regimes were there in history. So, though we welcome, and such small steps will one day usher in the glorious future of the Hindus who have already had a glorious past. And let us make our present also glorious, for fight is never inglorious, it is always glorious. So in the meantime, let the courts decide and take its own course of action, but we need to change our language, the parlance. That parlance has to be of the heroes, and never and not at all of apologetic and submissive Hindus. For Hindus have never been submissive or apologetic. They were either fighters who sacrificed their life in the battlefield, or laid down their life in that fight. There is no third way out. Fight and win, or let's die fighting. Thank you very much.